Danny Lightning here, and there's 5 major mistakes I see warrobots players make constantly. We call the first one going Rambo. Now, I see people do this constantly. They come over by themselves and they just run into a whole group of enemies like they're gonna just blow everything up, like they're gonna just destroy the entire group of enemies. But what really happens is you're outnumbered, you're surrounded, you stand 0 chance, you're just gonna get destroyed pretty much instantly like this. So stop going Rambo, guys. Mistake number 2 is not defending your beacons. Generally, once you have a beacon, you do not want to leave it. Look, I had that beacon, I decided to get off of it, and guess what happened? The enemies, they just took it, all right? The enemies just grabbed my beacon, and that's going to lose games. Once you have a beacon, you need to learn to stay on it and protect it and stop leaving the beacons, guys. Now we got to come over here and try and get it back, and if you notice, now there's a red dude on it. That is not good whatsoever, and our team might lose the game because I left the beacon and lost it. Now watch this. Now this guy that's on the beacon on the other side decides just to fly off of it, and he leaves it, and hey, now the beacon's mine. So I made the mistake and then he made the mistake and I got it back. But guys, don't leave your beacons. Stay and protect them. Huge mistake number 3. This is one of the worst things you can possibly do, and I see people do this constantly. I just don't understand it. You'll see a player start the game, move to a secure location where they can't be shot. They'll stand right next to a beacon, not even grab it, and then they just sit there and do nothing. Look, there's another guy right there doing the same thing. And now our team is basically down 2 guys, and that leaves 4 of our players versus 6 to go try and get the beacon. And then they wonder, hey, why did we lose the game? I just don't understand. Well, probably because you stood in the back and did nothing while your other teammates fought to get the beacons and you didn't help. Well, that was a big giant loss right there. This is huge mistake number 4. Watch what happens here. You'll see my team makes a huge mistake right at the start of the game, and this is not a good thing. This is not what you want to do. We have 3 guys run to the back beacon that only one person needs to get. It's the easiest beacon to get. It's the least important, and that leaves me by myself to go over and grab the center, when more than likely 4 or 5 of the enemies are going to show up at the center, which is the most important beacon. You should have 4 to 5 guys go to the most important beacon every time. You should have 1 guy run to the back left, 1 guy run to the back right. Everybody else goes to the important beacon. Now, if you notice, my team came to back me up. After they grabbed it, they darted to the center and they came to back me up. But it's good to have those other players get to the center quickly as possible. Every map has 1 beacon that if you don't take control of that beacon and keep control of that beacon, more than likely your team is going to lose. So there's always 1 really important beacon on every map, and you should always have 4 to 5 players heading to that 1 important beacon at the very start of the game to take it. So you can have 1 person grab the home beacon, 1 person get the back beacon, and everybody else goes to the important one and fights for it. So at the start of a game, your team needs to do 1 thing. Grab 3 beacons and then hold those 3 beacons for 51% of the game, and if that happens, you win. Beacon games are won by holding beacons, not grabbing them and leaving, grabbing them and leaving, or standing next to them, or hanging out in the back and doing nothing. You grab your 3 beacons, you make sure you get the most important beacon first, and bam, your team wins. Unless this happens. This is mistake number 5, and this is probably the hardest one to follow through if you're not playing in a squad or a team. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen a losing team come back and just dominate the map because they do this 1 thing. In this battle, my team was doing extremely good, and then this happened. So if you notice, they just rushed me with 2 Titans. This team worked together and coordinated when they were going to drop their Titans, so they dropped their Titans together and ran in a pack of 2 or packs of 3 with all their Titans. My team did not do the same thing. That put us at a huge disadvantage, and we ended up losing a game that we were winning. So guys, dropping Titans together, coordinating your Titan drops is very, very important. It's starting to turn into a game where the Titans are going to determine who wins the game if your team works together properly and uses the Titans correctly together. Now this is much harder to do if you're not playing in a squad, if you're just playing with random players, but when you notice players on your team start dropping their titans, maybe you should drop yours and follow their titans around and run with them. And if everybody were to do that, you would be way more likely to win games as long as the first person timed their titan drop at the right time. So sometimes you just gotta read what's going on in the map and follow suit and learn to work with your teammates even if there's no communication, if you're not in voice comms with them, if you don't normally play with those people. You just gotta learn to read the room and do the right thing at the right time. And if everybody who's playing understands that, you know, it's going to make things better for your team. It is not easy to work together with a team that doesn't really have any type of communications, but you can do it, right? That's what makes a really good player from a bad player, is learning to work with what you have, and teammates need to work together. Even if you're playing with randoms and there's no communication, there are ways to work together with your teammates that should really help things out and make things better. Most players don't do this when they're playing with randoms, and that's one of the reasons they lose. I mean, this was a full squad here. And my team didn't do the proper thing. My team did not drop their titans together. When these guys started dropping their titans, that's when our team should have started dropping ours, and we ended up losing that game because, hey, they dropped all their titans together. We didn't drop all of our titans together, and, well, things didn't go well. So yeah, those are the 5 mistakes I see players make constantly. I know that last one's the hardest, but you know, but when every player can learn to read the room or read the map or know when to drop the titans in the right situation, that can be a game changer. When you get a bunch of guys who actually know how to play together, if everybody knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it at the right time, then you win a lot of games, right? I mean, there's always people making mistakes. I make mistakes. This guy makes mistakes. That guy makes mistakes. That's just what happens. Humans are not perfect. We mess things up. But if you take these things here into consideration, you can be a much better player, and your team's going to win more games and do a lot better once you can get everybody working together and people actually know what to do and what not to do during a battle and stuff like that. So don't be this guy, and if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you drop down the video's description, there's some game news, some info, some links, my other YouTube channels, my Discord server, ways to help support the channel. Like if you need a new microphone or a new camera or new lighting or anything, we got you covered. Check out the affiliate links for that and the Wave plugins down in the video's description or the pinned comment. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. Hope the video was helpful. Lightning out. See ya.